Three, two, one. All right.
Hello, everyone. This is High Point Mayor Jay Wagner. I'm calling our regular 5:30 meeting for April 19th, 2021 to order. I will begin by calling the roll. Councilman Holmes, are you with us?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor, I'm here.
Thank you. Councilman Johnson.
Yes, Mayor, I'm here.
Thank you. Councilwoman Peters.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Here.
Councilman Williams.
Here.
Councilman Hudson. Councilman Hudson, are you with us? Are you muted?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Councilman Jones. Councilman Jones, are you with us? Councilman Jefferson.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'm here.
Thank you. And I'm obviously present in the meeting as well. Councilman Jones, one more call. Are you with us? Okay. We do have a quorum. I know Councilman Jones will be with us shortly. All right. Before we begin, let's have a moment of silence followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
I'm not getting any audio. Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Everyone here, Councilman Jones?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so we're all present now for council. Let's go ahead then and we'll just have a moment of silent prayer followed by our Pledge of Allegiance. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First item on the agenda tonight is the Finance Committee items, and for that I will turn the meeting over to the Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Thank you, Mayor Wagner. Before you, council, in your package was the items that we went over at our regular scheduled meeting. They are presented in a consent agenda form, and I will make a recommendation for approval, a motion to approve.
Okay. There is a motion to approve. It's been made by the Mayor Pro Tem. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, seconded by Councilwoman Monica Peters. Is there any discussion on any of the consent agenda items? Okay, hearing none. Councilman Holmes, how do you vote?
Aye.
Okay. Councilman Johnson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Peters.
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore.
Aye.
Councilman Williams.
Aye.
Councilman Hudson.
Aye.
Councilman Jones.
Aye.
Councilman Jefferson.
Aye.
And the mayor votes aye. Opinion of the chair, ayes have it, 9-0, and the consent items are approved.
Thank you, Mayor Wagner. We also, at this time, I will, item 2021-145 is a public hearing set for this evening to hear about Project Fleet. And I think I saw EDC interim chair Sandy Dunn back online. So at this time, we'll hear from her.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Good evening, Mayor and members of I am Sandy Dunbeck, Interim Director of the High Point EDC. I'm pleased to be here tonight to bring you this proposed Rudd Fleet Corporation Office project The dog's excited too. Not mine though. Company owner and president Drew Hare is also with us tonight and will share comments and a presentation. The Rudd Fleet Corporation is a locally owned fleet services operation that is expanding and is interested in the 209 North Main Street former Huffman Coos building for its corporate headquarters location. 209 North Main Street in downtown High Point has been vacant for approximately 5 years. This area is in the downtown MSD, Municipal Service District, a focus area for office projects for the city of High Point and the area that the targeted downtown office policy covers. This project would assist in generating people working downtown on a year-round basis, as well as individuals that would utilize our restaurants, retail, entertainment concepts, and potentially the downtown living and condominium apartments and condominiums that are being developed. Rudd Fleet Corporation is exactly the type of company that we would like to see downtown. Should the company pick High Point, the company would have 10 people working downtown initially. There would also be 20 new additional positions created with average wages of $44,000 over a 4-year period. And those positions would include office work like administrative positions, project management, customer service, team leadership, transportation, and titling positions. The property owner of 209 North Main and the company would invest $250,000 in building upfits and improvements to the exterior of the building and the interior. In addition to considering High Point for this facility, the company has most recently also considered downtown Winston-Salem. The company has requested that High Point consider authorizing these performance-based incentives so that this project can happen in High Point. The High Point EDC recommends up to $320,000 in cash grant incentives for such a project that would locate and expand in downtown High Point. These incentives would be paid out over a 4-year period. The source of funding would be the city's Economic Development Incentive Fund, which is funded by general and electric revenues. Those incentives would be subject to the company meeting the leasing, building improvement, and job creation benchmarks spelled out in a performance agreement. Payments could be made on a biannual installment as the company achieves those benchmarks. The company expects to make its location decision on whether to choose this High Point location within this quarter. President and owner of Rudd Fleet Corporation, Drew Hare, will now share his presentation to talk more about his company and its plans. So Drew, I'll turn it over to you so you can share more about Rudd Fleet and why downtown High Point could be a great fit for you.
Wonderful. Hi, thank you to everyone who's joined this evening. Thank you so much to Sandy Dunbeck and the High Point Economic Development team for your communication through this process. You guys have been absolutely terrific to work with, so thank you for that. I'm very appreciative to Mayor Jay Wagner and to the all of the city council members for your time and energy on this project, for your consideration, and for giving me the time to share this evening. So thank you for that. I'm excited to be here. As Sandy said, I am Drew Hare. I'm the president and owner of Rudd. We are a business-to-business organization, and we provide transportation services to companies as they purchase new vehicles. So this is most likely a market that you're unfamiliar with. Don't worry, it's one that many people are unfamiliar with. If you just consider the products and brands you use day to day, most likely those products and brands, those companies require vehicles in order to perform some part of their service. And so as they need vehicles, our team is supporting in servicing those vehicles smoothly. So I've personally been in transportation, been in this industry for 10 years. Much of those 10 years has been spent growing and building another business, moving it from a regional provider into a well-known national brand in that space. And through that time, I was very often presented with the challenge of new vehicle logistics. And so the idea excited me. I had a passion for it, and in late 2018 founded Rudd Fleet Corporation. So I'm going to share my screen. And I hope that's visible to everyone.
Yes.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So on your screen here, you'll see a very simple, simplified highlight of our core business. So what our team is doing is we are providing licensing, titling, and registration of new vehicles. We're then transporting the vehicle from where it was manufactured to where it's going to be used by our customer. And once it arrives, we're providing our customer not only that smooth handoff of a new vehicle, they're getting electronic updates as to the process, and then everything that we do is documented electronically. They can log into our portal and review that process. So our team spent much of the past 2 years building out this business network to make this service a possibility. And our focus right now is capability. And so I've defined that with our team as process, tools, and team. And so much of what the reason to share tonight is because we are very focused on building out our team. In the last 10 months, we've added 6 new team members. These are full-time team members at our home office. And that is a pace that we're going to continue moving in. So that's a general pace for us moving forward. Just to give the group an idea of who we are supporting, this is a snapshot. The majority of our customers are national brands that you are familiar with. These companies have a nationwide footprint, and our company is a mission critical partner to them running their business. So, and in each of these cases, we are either an exclusive provider of our service or we are a preferred supplier of our service. Our customers include a national leader in plumbing supply, a national leader in consumer electronics retail, one of the national leaders in parcel delivery, and one of the national leaders in rent to own. So again, this is a sampling of some of the customers that we're working with. As was the case for many, many businesses and industries, our core customer group and our industry was hit very seriously during the pandemic last year. And that halted not only our customers' business, but our business and our plans. So we were able to mid-year really change directions and ask, how can we adapt our services to meet the current needs of the marketplace? So what you see here is this was a picture taken in the middle of last summer, and this was as our team prepared to license, title, and deliver 200 hospital bed and medical equipment vehicles. So this was a time when many DMVs were closed or on restricted services. Businesses were either struggling or potentially overwhelmed, depending on the industry. A lot of people are working from home, and our team was managing a project of licensing, titling, and delivering these 200 vehicles. After completing that successfully, we then took on a project really of equal size, doing the same thing for vehicles that were being used in hospice and home medical support and respiratory equipment. Then late last year, the first week of December, in fact, our team was presented with the challenge of delivering the vehicle that was going to be used in the manufacturing of the COVID-19 vaccine. So that manufacturer needed a vehicle to transport the vaccine during stages of the process, and our team was given the opportunity to partner on that. So I just share this to showcase the essential nature of our business, the value that we're able to add to very well-known organizations, and the level of trust and reliance we've built with our customers in a short period of time. So hope that gives some insight to our team and our business. That's the best I could do in a quick format. So what I'd like to say next is our team needs a corporate office. We're looking at growth, and we need to identify a home. I want our team located in a downtown environment. We are all products of our environment. It's important that environment be something that's selected intentionally because it's very difficult to outgrow the environment that you're in. I think my favorite example of this is one that Dr. Nito Qubein said in one of his books, which is a koi fish in a fish bowl will grow to be approximately 2 inches. A koi fish in its natural wild environment will grow to be up to 2 feet. So same fish, same potential, different environment, completely different result. I want our team in a downtown environment. I'm working very hard to cultivate a culture in our company that's positive and motivated, one where our team members are thinking about growth mindset, professionally and personally. We generally work with a pace in our office and have a lot of energy. And so I think these things are synonymous with a downtown, and that's why I'm looking at putting our team in this sort of environment. To speak very highly of High Point, High Point's downtown is certainly in a momentum phase right now. And something that I say is if you're working hard, you're either in a grinded out phase or you're in a momentum phase. And when you're in a momentum phase, you start seeing change and it becomes a lot of fun. So downtown High Point is certainly in a momentum phase. That's a huge credit to many of the people on this call. And Rudd and our team, we are certainly in a momentum phase. So I think the timing there for what we're looking for and where downtown High Point is at is very well suited. So our team is growing. I wanted to give a snapshot of the plan. This is the plan that we are currently working on. We currently have a team in our home office of 10 individuals, 10 team members. We are looking to add 20 additional team members to this group. This is going to be over a 3-year process, up to 4 years, and we'll be at the same pace that we've been adding. We're in that phase now. We are currently interviewing and adding as soon as we find the correct team members for our roles. These are going to be full-time office professional positions, office professional roles, and they're going to have a targeted salary of $44,000 on average. Our company does have great benefits. That includes a very good PTO program. It includes health, dental, vision, and life insurance. And then we certainly encourage growth. So there'll be plenty of growth and opportunity for people on our team. The High Point community is certainly able to meet the skill set and talent that we're looking for. Using the 80-20 principle, about 80% of the jobs that we're looking to add are in administrative skill set, project management, customer service, team leadership. And then 20% of these roles are going to be subject matter experts, something like a seasoned transportation logistics professional or a seasoned vehicle licensing professional. So we're adding, again, 80% of these roles are things that certainly we'll be able to locate in the local community. .209 North Main is the location I'm proposing for this project. This is a building that's in a great location downtown on Main Street, intersection of Main Street and English, a very visible property. The location's been vacant for over 5 years now, and because of that, it's in some degree of decline. There's some system issues that will need to be resolved and some structural items that need to be fixed prior to move-in. I'll talk about those in just a moment. But the building has been sitting vacant for some time. The great news for us is the interior is set up as a completely blank canvas. This was most previously a showroom, and because of that, there are no walls. That's a big advantage to our team because through our growth process, it gives us the opportunity to continue to adapt the building to our need. Makes this a property that I'm extremely interested in because of that. In addition, there is plenty of parking. So depending on exactly how quick this project can move, we will likely have 12, 13, 14 people reporting to our corporate office every day on day one. And then over the next few years, that will grow to 30. In addition, we're going to have customers visiting from all over the US. So it's important that we have a large parking space like this. I personally also like the location and size of the parking lot because it lends well to community engagement. I'm extremely passionate about business, especially local and startup phase business, and also health and wellness. So anything that we could incorporate to bring community engagement along those items is exciting to me. And we have a team that are passionate about a lot of other topics. So I see this as a neat meeting hub that could be utilized in a variety of ways. We're planning, if this were to move forward, we would be doing the upfits in 2 phases. Phase 1 is going to be a phase to get the building back in working condition or good working order. This is going to be system updates. This is going to be a complete re-roof of the building. There's been a lot of water damage, even more so in recent weeks. And so, and then systems and cabling in the inside of the building need to be addressed. Phase 2 is going to be our showroom to modern office conversion. I'll talk about that on the next slide. But the combination of these 2 projects is going to be on budget at $250,000. That's not the only expenses that will be required to move in. We have about $40,000 in other furniture and IT move-in expenses. And then we have approximately $10,000 that are being budgeted for fixing up the exterior of the building and the landscaping around the space. If you've been by the area, then you can see that money would be well spent in the visual of the space. So that's a high level overview of the initial investments. There are also going to be ongoing investments as our team continues to grow and have success in this space. We will certainly be adapting the building to meet our team's needs so that we're able to continue with our growth. Where I see this as a certain win-win is this would be activating a very center point on Main Street in a building that's been vacant. This would be converting it to what I'm calling a daily business hub. So again, we're going to have team members in this space immediately reporting in every day, coming to work with energy, and that will be bringing a lot of activation and general revitalization to this specific property. And so I think that could be a win-win for the High Point community. Okay, and what you see here is a basic concept for what we plan on doing in the interior of the space. So there are going to be several very cool features, and I want to take the opportunity to point some of these out. As I mentioned, the interior, we're going to be going for a very modern feel and look. Our team is collaborative in how we work with one another. We currently work in shared workspaces, or pods as we refer to them. And this is an area where multiple people work together instead of each person having an individual office. So we're going to keep that same collaborative environment as we move into our corporate HQ. And then we're going to build in breakout meeting areas. So this is an area where you can leave your workspace, you can get out from behind your computer, technology free, and just have a creative meeting and sort of help create that creative environment. So we're going to have pods and breakout workspaces working to make this a collaborative environment. As I mentioned previously, I'm very passionate about health and wellness. So I'm certainly going to make sure that we're building in as many wellness features as we can into this space. A few that we're doing for sure is we're going to be having all the desks to be sit-to-stand desks. There are a few points on lighting that are critical. So because the building is set up with a lot of windows, we'll be able to get natural light into the space. And then we're going to enhance that by having all glass wall partitions to really help natural light fill the space. There is plenty of science out there on how natural light throughout the day in the office is healthy. It improves sleep, it improves energy throughout the day. There's also some very neat technology on adjustable hue lighting. So we're going to be incorporating that, certain areas to bring more of a relaxing feel, areas to bring energy and focus. We're planning on having HEPA filters in all of the shared workspaces. This is, again, just to ensure we're considering the wellness of our team members. And then there is going to be a fitness area. So this will be some cardio equipment and fitness equipment in a dedicated space that should our team members choose, they can be active either before or after work. The last thing on here is just bringing in energy by adding a few lounges. The downstairs of this space is set up very nicely for 2 specific lounges that we're planning on, as well as a cafe coffee station that can double as an after hours event hub for our team, customers, and any other events that are going on. So again, this is just a really high level overview of some of the features that we're going to make sure we're incorporating into this space and that we have planned. And that concludes the proposal, the project overview. I'm certainly very glad to answer questions. I hope there's some questions, and I am very appreciative of everyone's time. Again, very appreciative of Sandy and her team through this process, very appreciative to the City Council and to Mayor Wagner for your consideration of this project, your consideration of these incentives. I believe and will do my best to make certain that this would be a win-win-win for all parties involved, and would appreciate your support in that. The last thing that I'll say is I've spent a lot of time downtown High Point and in other cities over this process, and I would be happy to help or speak to anyone else who's interested in moving through this sort of project. So with that, I'm Drew Hare. I'm the president of RUD. My contact information is listed here, and I'll either turn it over or open it up for questions.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Hare, for that very professional and detailed presentation, and certainly very impressive. If some people may be doing what I'm doing and writing down some information real quick in the way we do these things these days. But if you wouldn't mind taking that screen down, then maybe we can bring in the rest of council as we go through the next steps. There we are. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Hare.
Yes, thank you.
Is there anyone else that is going to speak concerning this matter? Is there anyone on council that has any comments or questions for Mr. Hare or Ms. Dunbeck?
Councilman Moore?
Yes, ma'am, Ms. Peters.
Yes, I would just like to thank both Drew and Sandy. Excellent job, Sandy, bringing this to us. Excellent job, Drew. That presentation was fabulous, and we're excited to see our downtown reactivated and that building reactivated. So thank you.
Thank you,
Mayor,
Councilman Moore. Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Moore, I'm sorry about that. This is Councilman Jefferson. I actually want to echo some of those comments and thank Mr. Hare for coming in to present. It's so important that in downtown, we know all the time, we talk about the trifecta of live, work, and play. And it sounds like what you guys are going to build it out to be. I wouldn't mind doing all 3 in that building because it certainly is going to be a fun place. But seriously, thank you guys, and thank you, Sandy, for the incredible work that you and your team do recruiting these kinds of businesses. And I really hope that when this is all said and done, that RUD fleet will be able to be operating here in downtown High Point.
Thank you, Councilman Jefferson. Anyone else?
Yes, Mayor Pro Tem Morris, Councilman Holmes. Mr. Hare, thank you for a very detailed and presentation. I really appreciate the vision. And I don't know if I missed it during your presentation. If we're able to, come to an agreement and we get RUD here in High Point, what's your build out time? What in terms of getting the building retrofitted and up to speed? If you don't mind, unless I missed it.
Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for that. We were planning on a July 1st kickoff date, so that does have us on a tight schedule. The contractors that we've very lightly approached have long backlogs, and there's some material challenges in that marketplace. So we would want to be in the space as quick as possible. If we were targeting a July 1st date, that would be we'd be able to really solidify that once we had approved build out plans and had a contractor selected. But I personally and our team certainly want to be in the space that we're going to be in as soon as possible.
Thank you. I just know building materials right now are tough to source. So just wanted to make sure that you had adequate time to make adjustments.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Holmes. Anyone else? Okay, Mr. Hare, I will, this will be considered at our recess meeting on Wednesday at 5:30. I would like to applaud you for your flexibility and adaptability to respond during the pandemic. I've been a lifelong resident and business person here in town. I think you would find High Point a fabulous place to be. Very pro council and staff, pro business council and staff. And I think you can grow that koi fish into 4 feet if you decide to come on into High Point. So thank you for your time and the presentation again, and we look forward to consideration on Wednesday.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you as well from the EDC.
Thank you, Sandy.
Absolutely, our pleasure.
Okay, Mayor Wagner, that's it for finance.
All right, thank you, Councilman Moore. The next item on our agenda is the Prosperity and Livability Committee, and on the agenda we have just an update from Councilman Hudson. Councilman Hudson, do you have an update for us?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. We met at our usual time and we had a presentation from Phyllis Bridges. She brought us some work that she's been doing, researching and developing a cultural arts center that she would like to build on the east end of Washington Street, and had a very, very fine presentation of that. And we passed the recommendation on to staff to speak with Ms. Bridges and see if they could come up with a timeline. Ms. Bridges specifically wants the city to donate property for the museum, which currently is owned by the property is city property, as well as a few pieces. I believe Housing Authority owns the other properties. But we gave staff the recommendation to talk with Ms. Bridges and find out some more information and a timeline that they are considering for fundraising, contingency plans, those type things. We took no voted action other than to present to staff for their further investigation. And that is all that I have to present, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Hudson. Okay. I don't believe there are any community development items on tonight, so we'll go to the planning and development portion of the agenda, and I'll be handling that. We have one item. It is the zoning map amendment case 21-03. And for that, I will turn the meeting over to Herb Shannon from the planning department.
Yes, this is Herb Shannon, Senior Planner with the City of High Point Planning and Development Department. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
I'll provide you with a staff overview of zoning map amendment case 21-03. This is a request to update the current zoning governing a 71-acre mixed-use development located along the east side of Sandy Ridge Road, or Sandy Ridge Road, Johnson Street corridor, and west of Kendall Avenue. Can everyone see that slide? Hopefully they got that shared. Yes, you got it. This site is located in the northern portion of the city's planning area. As I previously noted, along the east side of the Johnson Street Sandy Ridge Road corridor, lands associated with this application were annexed and received their current planned development periphery, or PDP district zoning, in 2017 to support a 400-unit mixed residential development. The planned development districts are intended to encourage innovative land planning and site design that will produce a high-quality unified project that would not negatively impact adjacent lands. Regarding this site, the applicants are requesting to amend their standards that were initially adopted in 2017, specifically for the northern portion of the track A. When initially approved, there was a northern portion, track A, that was intended for multifamily structures up to 290 units, and a track B, the southern portion of the site, that was intended for approximately 110 single-family units. The applicant is specifically requesting to update the development standards for the track A portion of this development. They're proposing to develop a multifamily building on one of their parcels in track A, identified as phase 3. And you can see that phase 3 area that's identified on track A. If you had a chance to drive up to this portion of the city, you see that the site is currently under construction with some of the units already completed. But for that track A site, in that phase 3, they're proposing a multifamily building in that track. Multifamily buildings are subject to, in this development, are subject to standards of the development ordinance, which limit them to 250 linear feet. The applicants are requesting to amend the development standards for this planned development to allow phase 3 parcel to have one multifamily building with a length up to 480 feet. So while the ordinance limits them to 250 feet, they can set their own standards in the planned development, and they're proposing to allow a building length of 480 feet in that phase 3 track. Some key points to note: first, compatibility with surrounding area. This request is limited in scope. The phase 3 parcel is approximately 4 acres and only will support one building of this length. Furthermore, they have noted that all the other buildings in phase or in track A will still be subject to the 250-foot building length standards. Another important issue is the location of this proposed building on this track. This segment of the Johnson Street Sandy Ridge Road corridor is designated as a major thoroughfare. It is to be widened to a 4-lane roadway from Skeet Club Road northward to I-40, and this project has been approved by NCDOT. Also, as part of this road widening project, Kendall Road, which is a minor thoroughfare that's to the east of the site, will be realigned, and that will run along the northern boundary of the zoning site intersecting with John Knox Drive. So the location of this phase 3 parcel will ultimately be a signalized intersection where 2 thoroughfares intersect. It's also important to note that along the opposite side of Sandy Ridge Road is the River Landings community. That area is also developed and has a planned development periphery, a PDP zoning district, and has developed with a mixture of residential uses consisting of single-family attached, multi-story multifamily building, and a multi-story assisted living facility. Finally, this request would not adversely impact adjacent lands. There's no change in the configuration of the tracks from their initial approval. There is no increase in density from what was previously approved. Therefore, staff is recommending approval to rezone this site to an amended planned development district to allow the building length they're requesting. This request was reviewed by the Planning and Zoning Commission at their March public hearing, and the commission recommended approval by a vote of 9-0. The commission stated that the request is consistent with adopted policy guidance because the adopted land use plan designates the area as medium density residential, which supports townhomes and multifamily housing at a density up to 16 units per acre. The commission also stated that the request is reasonable and in the public interest, as the requested increase in building length may be deemed appropriate when adjacent to other high density residential uses and when situated at the future signalized intersection of two thoroughfares. As always with a zoning request, the council must place in the official record a statement of consistency and explain why the request is reasonable. And you have the statement that was forwarded to you from the Planning and Zoning Commission for your consideration. That is a brief summary of the request. Are there any questions of staff at this time?
Mr. Shannon, this is Councilman Moore.
Yes.
If approved, are there restrictions on the height of what can go there?
They would have to meet the height standards of the RN16 district. It allows building heights up to 50 feet. Beyond 50 feet, additional setbacks would require. The applicant has noted that they're looking at a 3-story building, which would have a height of approximately 40 feet.
Okay. Which is not inconsistent with some of the buildings that are across the street.
Correct.
Thank you.
Anyone else with any questions for Mr. Shannon? Okay. Hearing none, the council will now hear from the applicant or the applicant's representative.
Ooh, okay. Good evening. This is Amanda Williams and Barry Siegel. Can you see us and hear us?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you. Herb did a wonderful job as always. And so I've just touched upon a few very minor points. We came to you in 2017 to the rezoning of this tract. And on the original plan in 2017 in this phase 3 area was a building footprint for the size building that we are talking about today. So it was an oversight on both our parts and I guess staff's part, that building was longer than what is permitted in RM16, which is 250 feet. And I'll be honest, we've done this in Winston-Salem and we've done this building in Greensboro. And in both of those jurisdictions, they don't have a building limit length on it. And so that when we started doing the site review with TRC, that's when it came up that there was a limitation of 250 feet. The building is 3 stories. There are no exterior hallways, no exterior stairwells. It is just another product type. We call it our loft type. It provides individuals to have the ability to come in with secured entrances and be within the building and outside the weather and get to the amenities without going out at all. The architecture is very similar to what you see out there today in Track A. We have, as Herb said, multiple building types. We have our villas, our townhouses, and our small apartment 8-unit buildings. And so this phase 3 is just the 4th edition. Also, you know, this building is no larger in length and honestly shorter than what you would find at River Landing Retirement Community across the street. They've been there for many years, as everyone's aware. And Wesleyan Academy is moving forward with their plans to be at the corner of Sandy Ridge and Johnson Street with their academic buildings, and their primary building, primary education building is the first one that's coming. So we feel like this is very complementary to what is in the area, and what as Herb mentioned, that it will be a 4-lane divided road with the median as soon as NCDOT is able to find the funds. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Like I've mentioned, it was kind of just an oversight originally that it was the building length, but it has been the plan all along. We've had discussions with River Landing, we've had discussions with Wesleyan Academy, and we've had discussions with other neighbors out here. And every comment has been complimentary of everything we've done. So they feel like this would be fit in well. But if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you. Anyone have any questions for the applicant?
Ms. Williams, this is Councilman Moore.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm good. Hope you are.
I'm good. Just out of curiosity, the envisioned building itself, when with everything interior, is it a facility that has like in the center a courtyard area or a common area, or is it all just one structure?
There is a courtyard in the back. So if you were to look at the building, it would kind of be like a squared C in a
Right.
sense, with a larger part of the C facing Sandy Ridge Road. And but there are interior amenities within the building as well. So once you get in the building, there's 2 elevators, and then there's the fitness center and every amenity you could want. In fact, it's very similar to what you would find at River Landing with amenities. The difference is we don't offer healthcare or meals.
Okay.
So it's really thought to be kind of a transitional. It's always kind of been a transitional thing between independent living in your single family house versus you're too young to go to River Landing, or honestly, you may not be able to afford the luxuries of River Landing.
If I could, this is Barry Siegel. We've had a lot of folks describe the building and the finishes of like a Ritz-Carlton hotel. The hallways are minimum typically of 8 foot wide. Some places they even widen up beyond that for seating areas. And one of the nice things about the building is it's designed and catered to folks that basically want to be in a relatively secure, what they consider a secure building, and be able to come in and get out of the weather, go down to the amenities, and be able to socialize with their neighbors, get to know their neighbors. And it just has a very different character. It is certainly not a typical apartment building. And for those that may have gone over to Winston-Salem, the first development that we did there was called the Lofts of Little Creek, which is basically served as a prototype for this project. Then we did one called the Lofts of New Garden on New Garden Road, very, very similar.
A lot larger project.
A lot larger project. And then we've done another one on Hillside as well. So it's a very, very unique building. We've had a lot of folks coming from out of state who've kind of heard about this concept and what we've done to take a look at it and try and give consideration if that's something they want to try to do in their state.
Thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
You're
Thank
welcome.
Ms. Williams, this is Councilman Holmes. Thank you both for being here. Can you speak to any potential traffic impact? I live on Kendall, so I know that it can going on to Sandy Ridge can be sometimes quite a chore in the mornings or in the evenings. So any impact on traffic this development may have?
Not any additional than what was in the original traffic study that was submitted to City Council in the city in 2017. We're still the same number of units, which is 290 max. So nothing would be changing on that. There is a plan from NCDOT to realign Kendall at John Knox, which would put a stoplight, but we do not have an access point there. We have 3 access points, one across from the Lynx Drive. We have another one down there at Kendall, kind of down where Equinox Trace comes in. You can see there's a little, thank you very much. There's an entrance there, and then there's another entrance onto Bloomfield Trail, and those are the only 3 access points. So if somebody wanted to, they could go out Equinox Trace and take a left to get to the light at Kendall. DOT has said that once there's full movement at the Lynx Drive, that they would study that intersection again, just to make sure that, see if there was anything further needed at this point.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else with any questions for the applicant? Okay, hearing none, then this item, there was one public comment received. It is in for council members. It should be in your notes in the Granicus app. If anyone else, we're not able to take a vote on this item until our recessed meeting at Wednesday, the 21st at 5:30. If there's anyone out there listening who would like to submit a public comment for this item or for the earlier incentive public hearing that we had, you can submit your public comments by calling the city at 336-883-3522. You can email comments to publiccomment@highpointnc.gov, or you can drop written comments into either of the utility payment drop boxes located on both the north and south side parking lots here at City Hall. So with that, as I said, council will consider this item at our recessed meeting Wednesday at 5:30. Okay. I believe that is it for planning department, our planning and development section of the agenda. Next, we have several general business agenda items. Two of those are reappointments to the Planning and Zoning Commission. The first one is Councilmember Chris Williams' appointment. So Councilmember Williams, would you like to speak to this item?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll be really quick. Angela McGill has served on this board for a number of years so far, and she's been an integral partner in what we do with this board and also as the CEO of the High Point Housing Authority. And with that said, I'd like to make the motion for her reappointment to the High Point Housing Authority Board.
Okay, there is a motion for her reappointment. Is there a second?
Second.
Johnson.
Okay, seconded by Councilman Johnson. These are typically non-controversial. Are there any members of council who would object to the reappointment of Angela McGill to the Planning and Zoning Commission? Anyone who would object to that or vote no? Okay, hearing none, then I'm going to consider that an approval of 9-0. Next on the agenda is the reappointment of Tom Kirkman to the Planning and Zoning Commission. This is Mayor Pro Tem Britt Moore's recommendation, so I will turn it over to Councilman Moore.
Thank you, Mayor Wagner. Tom Kirkman has as well been an integral part of our P&Z. He is very intuitive and very inquisitive on the issues and well versed. He knows a lot about the town of High Point, the business of High Point, and I make a motion that he be approved for another term on the P&Z board.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Jefferson.
Okay, I believe Monica Peters came through for that one. So again, these are typically non-controversial. Is there anyone who would vote no to the reappointment of Tom Kirkman to the Planning and Zoning Commission? Okay, second bite at the apple. Anyone who cannot support this reappointment? Okay, hearing no one, I will consider that item approved by a vote of 9-0. All right. We do have some minutes to be approved. And I will make a motion to approve the minutes that are listed on our agenda. Is there anyone who has any corrections or questions about any of those items? Okay. Is there anyone who objects to the approval of the minutes as stated?
I'll second the motion.
Oh, that's a good point. We do need a second. Thank you for catching me. That's what the Mayor Pro Tem is supposed to be for, right? Catch the mayor when he screws up. All right, so there is a motion and a second. Is there anyone who objects or cannot support the approval of the minutes as stated? Okay, hearing none, then I will consider those approved 9-0. Before I declare the meeting in recess, I'd like everybody to know that in case you don't know, High Point today had a visit from the Vice President of the United States. I was honored to be able to welcome her to High Point. That's part of my job as the mayor, is to welcome dignitaries when they come to town. She, along with the governor of North Carolina and the administrator of the EPA and United States Representative David Price were all here today. And they came to High Point to tour the Thomas Built Bus factory that's kind of on Surratt Drive in Fairfield, the big factory that's down there. They came in to tour the facility and to see the electric buses that Thomas is producing. It's a very innovative product. It's something that I think High Point should be proud of. She gave me the opportunity to speak for a minute, and I told her that we were happy that she came to High Point, and that we were happy that she came to Thomas Bus to see an extraordinary example of what good American ingenuity and workers can do, and also that I was able to explain to her, and she was able to hear some about the manufacturing history of Thomas and of the city of High Point. She, of course, knew that High Point is known for furniture. She was excited to learn that the streetcar named Desire was built by Pearlie Thomas Car Works. And a little bit of trivia for her to take back to the White House with her. And she was very excited, as was the governor and Representative Price, to see the electric buses that they're churning out at Thomas Bus. So I just want to give a little report about her visit. And unless anyone else has anything to present, now's your chance. I'll give you 10 seconds to speak. Otherwise, I will declare the meeting in recess. Anyone else like to speak?
Good luck to High Point University's men's soccer team in their first round match against Georgetown, I believe, is coming up May 2nd, I believe. So good luck to them.
Yeah, on Saturday, they won the Big South tournament. So congratulations to HPU. I think it's their first Big South championship in men's soccer. So we'll be cheering them on. Good luck to them. Anyone else?
Mayor Wagner, I just wanted to tell you, thank you for representing us so well today with the Vice President Harris. I'm glad that you were able to be there. I know that your enthusiasm is always so wonderfully received. So I'm glad that she got to hear your words about High Point.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, well then I will declare this meeting to be in recess until 5:30 p.m. on Wednesday.